Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom where sunlight fell gently upon marble courtyards and echoing halls, there lived a king who had 12 beautiful daughters. These 12 princesses were the pride of the palace, each graceful, each charming, and all sharing one enormous room adorned with silken drapes and glittering chandeliers. Their father, the king, protected them fiercely. At night, he ensured their door was locked, the guards were posted, and no one was allowed to wander. Yet despite all his precautions, every morning brought an unsettling mystery. The princesses' shoes were found completely worn out, as if they had spent the entire night dancing. Day after day, the royal shoemakers delivered new slippers, but by dawn they were frayed, scratched, and torn once again. The king and all his advisors puzzled endlessly. How could 12 princesses, who never once stepped beyond their locked door, return every morning with shoes ruined by dancing? Exasperated and desperate for answers, the king declared that anyone who could solve the mystery within 3 days and 3 nights would be rewarded with marriage to whichever princess he chose and be promised the throne one day. But failure would come at a terrible price. Anyone who tried and did not succeed would be imprisoned for life. Suitors from nearby villages and noblemen from distant lands arrived, confident they could outwit whatever magic or mischief was at play. Yet one by one they failed. They guarded the princess's chamber, but every morning their shoes were destroyed again, and the young men were led away to the dark cells below the castle. At last, a kind-hearted young man decided to try his luck. He had no riches, no titles, and no noble heritage, but he carried sincerity in his heart. On his journey toward the castle, he encountered a frail old woman who begged him for food. Without hesitation, the young man gave her everything he had. Pleased by his compassion, something she had not found in the many suitors who passed before, she rewarded him with a magical cloak. She explained that when worn, the cloak would make him invisible. She warned him, too, never to drink anything offered by the princesses, for they were under enchantments of their own. The young man arrived at the castle and accepted the challenge. On the first night, while he stood guard, the eldest princess stepped out, smiling softly, offering him the goblet of refreshing lemonade. Forgetting the old woman's warning, he drank it and fell asleep instantly. The same thing happened the following night, when another princess brought him sweet fruit juice. Each morning he awoke in a panic, realizing he had been tricked again. When the king confronted him on the morning of the third and final day, the gravity of failure haunted him. If he could not uncover the truth that night, he would face imprisonment. Determined, he prepared carefully. When the youngest princess visited him that night, offering a glistening glass of orange juice, he politely accepted, with no intention of drinking it. After she left, he poured it out discreetly. At midnight, cloaked in invisibility, the young man slipped into the princess's chamber. He watched silently as the sisters dressed themselves in shimmering gowns, applied makeup, and glanced toward the doorway. One princess checked to see if he was asleep, and another pressed her ear to the wall. Understanding their expectations, he let out a loud snore. Satisfied, the eldest princess moved her bed aside and clapped 3 times. The floor opened, revealing a hidden passageway. One by one, the princesses descended the secret stairs, lanterns glowing in their hands. The young man followed carefully, stepping where they stepped. The staircase led them deep beneath the castle, down into a forest where tall trees shimmered with silver branches. The young man broke off one as proof. Farther down, they reached a river where 12 swan-shaped boats, each piloted by a prince, awaited them. The princesses boarded gracefully, unaware of the invisible figure climbing into the last boat. The boat rocked heavier than usual, and the prince wondered aloud, but the youngest princess dismissed it as imagination. Across the river stood a brilliant castle, ablaze with music and lights. Inside, countless courtiers danced elegantly, while the princesses joined them without weariness. They danced until morning, until their shoes had worn thin. Meanwhile, the invisible young man fought hunger until he finally stole a slice of cake. The youngest princess gasped when she saw her dessert rising mysteriously into the air. At dawn, the group returned the same way, up the staircase, through the secret passage, and into the princess's room. Their shoes were ruined, proof of a night spent in enchantment. The next morning, when the king asked if the mystery had been solved, the young man confidently said yes. He presented the silver branch he had taken and the golden cup he secretly snatched from the magical castle. At last convinced, the king honored his promise. The young man chose to marry the youngest princess, whose gentle heart had always seemed different from her sisters. Though the 12 princesses were unhappy their secret world had been exposed, the youngest princess and the young man married joyfully and lived their days in peace. But the kingdom's tales did not end there. Far across neighboring lands, another story unfolded, a prince searching tirelessly for a real princess to become his bride. Many young women claimed to be princesses, but none seemed genuine. His father insisted that he marry only someone of true royal birth. Despite years of searching, the prince grew discouraged. One stormy night, as thunder boomed and lightning flashed across the sky, a knock echoed through the palace. A servant opened the door to find a shivering young girl drenched from the storm. Despite her soaked clothing, there was something unmistakably regal about her. She spoke weakly, claiming she was a princess whose kingdom had been attacked. Lost and alone, she begged for shelter. The king and queen agreed to take her in. As she changed into dry clothes and warmed by the fire, her elegance became more apparent. The prince, upon meeting her, was struck by her grace and beauty, but still wondered, was she truly a princess? The queen had an idea. To test her claim, she placed a single pea beneath 7 thick mattresses layered on the guest bed. Only a true princess, sensitive and delicate in nature, would feel such a small object beneath so many layers. In the morning, the queen asked the girl if she had slept well. The young woman confessed she hardly slept at all. She felt something hard beneath her back the entire night. Hearing this, the queen knew instantly only a real princess could have felt the pea. Overjoyed, the prince asked for her hand in marriage. She accepted gracefully, and the prince sent his own soldiers to help reclaim her kingdom. When peace was restored, the two were married in a grand ceremony. The pea was placed in a glass case for all to see, a reminder of the night true royalty was proven. And so, in 2 distant kingdoms, love triumphed, one through courage and cleverness, the other through gentleness and truth. Each story lived on through centuries, whispered to children and travelers alike, carrying with it the timeless magic of kindness, bravery, and destiny.